On this journey, I went behind the scenes at the Fillmore Auditorium to feel the raw energy of psychedelic rock and the liquid light revolution. But I also faced the cold reality of this city and the shadow of the military draft. Get ready, because our time travel starts now. Exactly how, but I just landed in the summer of 1967 in San Francisco, and the air here seems to carry an energy I've never felt before. Just look at this place. It seems like the whole city decided to paint its own reality with the brightest colors they could find. I thought I'd arrive here as an outsider, but these people welcomed me so naturally that I feel like I just found my true place in the world. It's not just the look, it's everything around. There's a scent of flowers mixed with this cool breeze that just makes me want to stay here forever. Behind all this glitter and so much music, I feel that something much bigger is about to happen in this city before this summer comes to an end. I crossed the corner of Haight and just entered Golden Gate Park, where hundreds of people seem to live in a totally parallel reality. You can hear the sound even before you see it. This drum circle in the middle of the lawn dictates the rhythm of everything that happens around here. It's amazing how no one here cares about money. Everyone shares what they have, from the fruits to the most sincere smiles. A guy just handed me one of these handmade newspapers. They use psychedelic art to spread messages of peace and protest. Just stumbled upon a small group sharing poetry. It's wild how literature is just as important as the music in this whole movement. There are makeshift galleries everywhere on the grass. These artists aren't looking for fame, they just want to express their vision of the world. This painter told me he's been working on this mural for 3 days. The colors he's using are supposed to represent the sound of jazz. I see copies of Kerouac and Ginsberg in almost everyone's hands. The Beat generation paved the road for everything we're seeing right now. Look at the size of the line. Without internet or cell phones, this booth is the only connection thousands of people here have. I'm leaving the park and heading back to Haight Street to visit the record stores. I want to feel the technological vibe of this summer. The psychedelic shop is legendary around here. The smell of vinyl and the sound of distorted guitars dominate the whole room right now. Check out these record covers. The designs look like they're melting in vibrant colors. It's a visual aesthetic that totally defines this generation. They put Hendrixy on the store's turntable. Analog sound has a soul that digital will never be able to reproduce. Technology here is tactile and mechanical. Watching the needle travel through the grooves of the record makes me feel the weight of history. I'm heading down the street toward one of the movement's most famous free picnics, organized by a pretty radical group called the Diggers. They serve food to hundreds of young people every single day. No one charges a single cent here. Everything works purely on donations. I just got my bowl of vegetable stew and a piece of whole wheat bread. People share the same space without any kind of barriers. You sit next to a stranger, and within minutes, you're already friends. Did you know a regular burger in town costs only 40 cents? Even so, these people choose to live without depending on the system. The walk over there reveals some amazing architecture. Every block of this city looks like it's straight out of a classic 60s movie. The movement on the Haight sidewalks is starting to shift gears. I'm walking toward the Fillmore to see how the city transforms. I made it to the front of the Fillmore Auditorium. The neon signs are starting to light up, and the posters are advertising the biggest shows of the year. The line on the sidewalk is already huge. There are people from all over the country trying to snag a ticket to see Airplane tonight. I managed to get past security at the entrance. The vibe inside here is indescribable, and I feel like the night is just getting started. I just took my first steps into the main hall. The space is massive, and the walls are already starting to come alive with the first lights. They call this a liquid light show. It's a mix of oil and colored paint moving in a completely hypnotic way. Did you know a ticket for this show cost only $3? It's unbelievable to think about the historical value of a night like this.
The floor is getting packed. and people are moving freely, totally surrendered to this sensory experience. The main lights just went out and the band finally hit the stage. The entire crowd let out a unison shout of pure excitement. That first distorted guitar chord echoed through the entire hall, and it feels like the music is just floating in the air.
The liquid light show is covering the whole band now. The colorful shapes seem to melt and pulse to the exact rhythm of the drums. I look around and see people with their eyes closed, smiling and dancing. There's a peaceful unity here that I've never seen at any modern show. We're reaching the end of the set and the energy is at an all-time high. It's an absolute explosion of sound, color, and freedom. The show is over and the doors just opened. Leaving the heat of the Fillmore and hitting the cool night air is an indescribable feeling. San Francisco's famous fog is rolling in fast down the hills, wrapping around the vintage lampposts and leaving a mysterious atmosphere. After hours of listening to the heavy sound of guitars, this almost absolute silence of the early morning is a bizarre and fascinating contrast. Even at this hour, I still find small groups talking on corners, sharing quotes and ideas in a completely spontaneous way. The day is starting to break, but the mood on the streets has shifted. The air is colder and the reality of an overcrowded city is starting to show. Walking through here, I see dozens of young people sleeping on the sidewalks, wrapped only in old blankets. The city simply doesn't have room for everyone. The free clinics and support centers are operating at their absolute limit. Volunteer work is the only thing keeping a total collapse from happening. The optimism from the beginning of the summer has given way to visibly tired faces. Living outside the system takes a very heavy toll in the end. Did you know that over 100,000 young people arrived here with almost no money at all? Most relied entirely on charity just to survive. I'm approaching the civic center of the city. The sound of folk songs has given way to chanting and heated speeches against the war. The sea of posters here is incredible. Phrases demanding peace and an end to sending soldiers to Vietnam cover almost the entire view. Look at this up close. The youth are placing real flowers into the barrels of the National Guard's rifles, while the soldiers stand completely still. Did you know that any 18-year-old guy here can be drafted by lottery to fight in Asia? That's why their desperation is so real. I'm leaving the Civic Center Square behind, but the weight of that protest and the shadow of the war keep following me with every block. I stopped in front of a government office. These official draft posters are scattered everywhere, calling young men to the front lines. It's bizarre to see these advertisements sharing space with the store windows full of colors and peaceful clothes that people wear out here. The truth is, many of those long-haired hippies we see in the parks are here just trying to escape this forced destiny. I'm back on Haight Street this afternoon, and the vibe is completely different. There's a strange parade crossing the main avenue. I decided to step away from the center for a bit and ended up in Alamo Square. The vibe here is pure romance and tranquility under the afternoon sun. Look back there. There's a newlywed couple taking photos with one of those heavy analog film cameras. The park is full of couples dating, sharing picnics, and just enjoying this free summer energy. It's beautiful to see how love and human connection are the real gear driving this whole culture around here. I climbed up to the top of Buena Vista Park. Looking at the silhouettes against this golden sky reveals the true identity of San Francisco. Fashion here isn't about trends, it's a political manifesto. The bell-bottoms, the fringed vests, and the psychedelic prints are a cry for freedom. The use of real flower crowns and handmade beaded necklaces shows this generation's desire to reconnect with what's natural. Couples walk barefoot, hug without rushing, and live the concept of free love. There are no social ties or protocols from the past. This mix of vibrant colors, music, and affection turns this summer into a living piece of art, something modern advertising has always tried to replicate. Night has finally fallen over the hill. The San Francisco skyline is starting to twinkle with thousands of distant lights under the deep, dark sky. The fog is rolling back up, wrapping around the trees and giving an almost ghostly feel to this scenery that was pure color just a little while ago. Now, I can understand. Summer of Love wasn't just a musical event. It was a desperate cry from a generation that wanted to change the world. Even knowing that this dream came to an end, the energy of peace and love that was born here still echoes in every corner of this city. It's time to head back to the present. If you enjoyed this time travel, leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next era.